This is the Dallas Morning News. It's Tuesday, August 19th. Sunny and hot today with a chance for an afternoon thunderstorm. The high will be 103. Clear tonight with a few spotty clouds and a low of 80. Here are today's headlines. A North Texas woman had no choice but to carry her pregnancy to term, despite knowing her baby would not make it. Another North Texas woman was unable to terminate a pregnancy that a doctor told her had become non-viable. She endured 4 days of excruciating second trimester labor to deliver her stillborn baby. And 2 Texas women waited for hours to be treated for their pregnancy losses. They both died. These are just some of the patients whose lives were permanently altered in the almost 4 years since Texas implemented one of the country's most strict and punitive abortion bans, ushering in the most seismic change to women's health care in a half-century. More than a year ago, the Dallas Morning News set out to explore how Texas's overlapping abortion laws have altered the landscape of obstetric health care. Through more than 100 interviews with physicians and other healthcare professionals, researchers, advocates, legal experts, patients, and family members, reporters documented deviations from the standard of care as well as other unintended consequences. A review of hundreds of pages of medical and death records, including the examination of more than a dozen patient cases, revealed how the laws have been sweeping in their collateral damage, with patients, families, and medical providers caught in the middle. Texas lawmakers have accomplished what they set out to do: criminalize and thus drastically reduce access to abortion. But in doing so, they have also derailed medical care for women trying to have children who developed heartbreaking or life-threatening problems in their pregnancies. Now, there's a lot more to this story, and you can read the rest at dallasnews.com. In other news, Dallas's new inspector general, tasked with uncovering corruption and ensuring the city government complies with its code of ethics, is not an attorney, and his recent hiring by the city council violates the city's charter. In June, council members unanimously hired Timothy Menke, a former federal official who held a similar role in the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. A ballot measure voters approved last November to create an independent office of Inspector General outside of the city attorney's office calls for the head of the department to be a competent practicing attorney of recognized ability. How did Dallas miss this work requirement? The city council has been deliberating this issue in closed session for the past 2 weeks. They will meet again Wednesday in closed session to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, or dismissal of the Inspector General and seek the advice of the city attorney on this matter. Next up, a group of teens in a car were shot at after police said they played ding-dong ditch at a Frisco man's house in July. 58-year-old Damon Wolfe faces a felony aggravated assault charge. Frisco officers responded to Scottsdale Way around 10:50 p.m. July 28th after learning from Wolfe that he had shot at someone who tried to kick in his door. Officers learned that Wolfe left his home after hearing a loud bang, entered the street, and fired multiple rounds at a passing vehicle that he believed contained the perpetrators. Later that night, officers were called to Hawk Creek Drive regarding a vehicle being shot at. Officers spoke with the driver and 2 of the passengers. Police said they admitted to encountering a man with a firearm while playing ding-dong ditch in a random neighborhood. 3 bullet holes were seen in the vehicle. Frisco detectives believed probable cause existed and that Wolfe had committed aggravated assault against the 3 victims, and 3 warrants were issued for his arrest. Wolfe was arrested August 7th. The second-degree felony carries a possible sentence of 2 to 20 years and a fine of up to $10,000. And America's Sweethearts, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders, has been renewed for a 3rd season and is slated for a 2026 return. The announcement comes months after the 2nd season of the hit show about the DCC dropped in June. The cameras are now rolling for the 3rd season of America's Sweethearts, which will again follow the cheerleaders from the rigorous tryouts through the end of the NFL year. Auditions for this year's squad have already ended, with a new roster being unveiled on the squad's social media earlier this summer. Thanks for listening. For more on today's stories and the latest breaking news, visit dallasnews.com. Enjoy your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with more from the Dallas Morning News.